Oil is a fossil fuel whose demand constantly increases as supplies constantly dwindle, because with a constantly growing population, there is more people, more homes to heat, more transportation to power, and more plastic to produce. This equals people need oil and more oil. This produces many negative effects, like emitting greenhouse gases and pollutants when it is burned. The national security issue because nations are dependent on foreign oil, the damage it does when it spills into waterways, and the waste problem disposable plastics create. Oil demand reduction is immediately achievable by first ending our use of disposable plastic, then individual conservation. Oil is a national security issue. When the Environmental Educator started 17 years ago, Oil Week had this national security segment. 17 years later, it's only gotten worse, to the point that in October 2010, the U.S. military announced the military's overdependence on oil has proven to be a dangerous liability, costing billions of dollars and the lives of those who supply and transport it. The problem is, the military only talks about reducing military oil dependency, not the nation's oil dependency. Then, reducing oil demand for energy is a decade or more away, but reducing oil demand by ending our disposable plastic would start right now, because we can stop using disposable plastic immediately. The main ingredient in plastic is oil. Plastic is so durable, its life expectancy can run into the hundreds of years. However, a lot of plastics are disposable products, whose expected life's use can be as minimal as minutes. Problem is, to get oil, we drill on land and in our oceans. It is shipped across waterways, protected by U.S. troops, who risk their lives for its safe arrival, for us to throw it away after a short use. So let's minimize this by never using disposable plastic again. As long as we insist on using oil, it is going to be drilled from and transported across oceans. This creates the statistical probability of mishaps, which, like any other statistical probability, it means once you create the probability, however small the probability might be, it is only a matter of time before it happens. Lots of publicity is given to big spills, like the Exxon Valdez or the Deepwater Horizon, but the majority of oil in oceans, which does the most damage, got there from everyday industrial runoff, unpublicized spills, and general sloppiness. Burning oil in our cars and homes releases the carbon in the oil as carbon dioxide, the most talked about greenhouse gas. Because of our infrastructure, some of this is a necessity, like home heating and car emissions to a point. The rest of emissions are because of abuse or convenience, like excessive heating and car features, which are not a necessity. Neither is private aviation. Every day, mostly from abuse and excessiveness, about 70 million tons of carbon dioxide alone are emitted into the on-global average 7.5 miles above your head. Our oil habit kills us in national debt and the bodies of men and women who give their lives to protect its safe delivery. For oil we waste with disposable plastic, unused hot water, excessive heating, inefficient buildings, inefficient vehicles, including excessive feature, low fuel efficient, and oversized vehicles, including homes on wheels, and excessive aviation, very much including today's trendy private jets. It's easier than most think to immediately significantly reduce our oil demand. Right now, everyone can never use disposable plastic again. Right now, everyone who otherwise would can never take off on their private jet again. Right now, everyone can lower your heating temperature by potentially a lot of degrees. Then, since our biggest oil source is conservation, we all have to do everything we can to conserve oil.